The best time to plant a tree. A journey of change. It was a rainy Wednesday morning, and Sarah sat at her desk staring at the same pile of bills that had been haunting her for weeks. The papers seemed to taunt her, reminding her of what she hadn't accomplished. Her savings account was empty, her health was deteriorating, and her dreams, well, they felt like distant memories. She glanced out the window, where the sky was heavy with clouds, much like the weight on her shoulders. She thought back to the years she spent putting off her goals, convincing herself that someday things would get better. But now, someday had long passed. Sarah remembered a time, about 20 years ago, when she was full of ambition. She had big dreams. She wanted to travel the world, start her own business, and get fit. But like many of us, she had pushed it all aside for later. Tomorrow, next week, next month, she kept saying. And so, the years slipped by. She recalled the day she had first heard the saying. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. She had heard it in a podcast, but didn't pay much attention. After all, it wasn't too late to get back on track, right? As Sarah sat at her desk, she remembered that quote again. The best time was 20 years ago, but the second best time was now. She felt a flicker of hope, a reminder that it wasn't too late. But where to begin? Her financial situation was in shambles. Her health had been deteriorating after years of neglect. She was constantly stressed, always in a rush, and feeling drained. But deep down, she knew that change was possible if she could find the courage to start. It wasn't until she received a call from her best friend Emily that things began to shift. Emily had called to catch up, but the conversation quickly turned to health. Emily shared that she had just completed a 30-day fitness challenge and was feeling more energized than ever. It was tough at first, Emily admitted, but I'm finally seeing the results, and I feel so much better. Sarah was amazed. You always had it together, Emily. I wish I could do something like that, but it feels too late for me. I've been procrastinating for so long. Emily laughed softly. Sarah, listen. The truth is, we're all procrastinators in one way or another. But the good news is that the past doesn't define us. You can start today. The best time to plant your tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is now. Sarah smiled, feeling a sense of encouragement she hadn't felt in years. It was like a spark had been lit inside her. She had spent far too many years wondering, what if? But now, she realized that the only way to make a change was to take that first step. That evening, Sarah sat down with her finances. She made a budget. She started tracking every cent. She set realistic financial goals, one step at a time, no more ignoring the numbers or hoping for the best. She opened a savings account and made a small deposit every week, even when it felt like there was never enough. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The next day, she signed up for a fitness class. She started with a 20-minute workout in the morning, something simple but effective. The soreness in her muscles felt like a reminder of the decision she had made, to take action. And over time, Sarah began to see the fruits of her efforts. Her energy levels increased, her mood improved, her body started to change. Weeks turned into months, and Sarah began to realize that the habits she'd started were slowly but surely transforming her life. Her finances were no longer a source of anxiety. She had a plan. She was getting healthier, feeling stronger, and more confident. She had learned to stop living in the past, wondering about what could have been, and instead focused on what she could do now. She was reminded of something Emily had told her during one of their conversations. The key to success is consistency. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just take it one step at a time. And Sarah had done just that. Small, consistent steps led her to bigger changes. Sarah looked at herself in the mirror one evening, smiling at the reflection. She realized that by planting her tree today, she had already begun to see the roots of her efforts taking hold. It wasn't too late. The best time to plant a tree might have been 20 years ago, but it was never too late to start. Every day was a new opportunity to build the future she wanted. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now, even if it's late. Small actions now lead to big results in the future. A man reflects on missed opportunities, but one decision to start investing in his health today radically transforms her life. Your journey doesn't need to start at the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is always now. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success, health, or financial freedom is something for later. We wait for the stars to align, for the right opportunity to present itself. But the truth is, the longer you wait, the more time you lose. Every small decision you make today can set the course for the future you want. Remember, the best time to plant a tree might have been 20 years ago, but today is still your chance to create something lasting. Don't wait for someday. Make today the beginning of your new chapter. The future doesn't wait for anyone, but it's always open to those who act now. We often get caught up in the idea that we have all the time in the world. But time moves faster than we think, and before we know it, another year has passed without any progress. Taking action today is a way to reclaim control over your future. Whether it's improving your finances, health, or pursuing your dreams, the key is starting now. Each small action compounds over time, and those early steps lead to big, rewarding changes. Don't wait for the right moment. Create it by acting now. Every day you put off change is another day that could be spent building the life you want. It's easy to put things off. We all have reasons for not acting, whether it's fear, uncertainty, or a belief that it's too late. But in reality, the longer you wait, the more you prolong your potential. Life doesn't have to be perfect to make progress, and no step is too small. Starting today means you'll be that much closer to achieving your goals tomorrow. Stop waiting for an ideal time that may never come, and take action now. Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make today. It's never too late to begin, and the best time to take that first step is right now. It's a common belief that change requires a grand moment, but the truth is that transformation often starts with a single decision. It's easy to focus on what you haven't done or how much time you've lost, but the key to unlocking your potential is simply taking that first step. Whether it's starting a new exercise routine, taking control of your finances, or pursuing a long-forgotten dream, the best time to act is now. Small actions today lead to monumental changes in the future, and it all begins with you choosing to start. You don't have to be perfect to begin, but you do need to begin to be perfect. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. We wait until we have everything figured out, until we feel ready. But the reality is that we're never truly ready. The only way to get better, stronger, and more confident is through consistent action. You don't need to have a flawless plan or the ideal circumstances. The simple act of starting is what gets you closer to where you want to be. Progress is built on mistakes and learning, and each small step you take today will bring you closer to your goals. So stop waiting for the right moment and start creating your future now. Your dreams are achievable, but only if you decide to take the first step today. We often put off our dreams because they seem too big or out of reach. We get caught up in the idea that we need more resources, more time, or more knowledge before we can begin. But the reality is that your dreams are not only achievable, they are waiting for you to take action. The first step may feel daunting, but it's the one that starts the journey. Once you begin, you'll find that momentum builds, and what seemed impossible becomes possible. Today is the day to plant the seed that will grow into the life you've always dreamed of. If you're watching this, Sarah's story is a reminder for all of us. Life doesn't wait for us to be ready, but we can always make a change, no matter how small. Whether it's taking control of your finances, improving your health, or following your dreams, the key is to start now. There's no perfect moment, but you can create one with your first step. If you've found this story inspiring, remember, you can start today. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Take that first step toward a healthier, wealthier, and more fulfilled life. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and share your own story of change. Don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing stories and tips. Let's grow together and make each day count.